Off and running during the Olympics. We're live on Sportsnet 360, Sportsnet 590 The Fan in Toronto, and streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. Also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee, Derek Brandeo, Jake the Snake Schultz with you for the next 2 hours. It's the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. What do you think so far, boys? We're off and running. Latvia's giving it to the U.S.
Come on now.
Canada.
This is great.
Off to a running start. We'll get into all of that as well. Luke Fox will join us in about 20, 25 minutes. We'll get the vibe out of Italy as hockey is well under the way. Also, Hall of Famer, gold medalist Chris Pronger will help us break down a 5-0 win for Team Canada over Czechia.
Yeah.
I love the Olympics so much. I've just been all day, every day watching it. But, you know, the men's hockey taking over, I've watched a lot of it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's been great. And watching this first period of the States versus Latvia. Latvians are a proud bunch. They play like this at every level of hockey. They just play so hard. They showed a drill of their, morning skate, and it looked like training camp.
Oh, is that right?
They're like 2-on-2 corner battles and morning skate. They're not having an optional. Let's just say that. Quickly, before we get into the Canada stuff, we got sent a couple things yesterday. I got sent a Leafs jersey from a guy named Kevin, but he sent something for Kyper, and we didn't look at it yesterday. Do you want it to? It's a.
You know what? You should have told me to bring the cards down.
I should have told you.
I didn't know you were going to want to talk about this.
It was amazing. It's like an unopened package of North Bay Centennial hockey cards.
So there's a bakery up there all these years when I played junior A hockey called Aunt May's, I think.
Yeah.
I have to look again. I think it was Aunt May's. They made us hockey cards. And I don't know if his package was ever open. Well, that's because that's what you do back then.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You made these hockey cards, and there's me with my Cooperalls, and
yeah, but the good team that you had there, and it just you look so young when he's 6 foot 190, just
slim,
just
cut. Hey,
yeah,
cut like
I thought that was
Coke bottle.
I mean, we could send a lot of stuff, but shout out to Kevin. I thought that was an amazing. I didn't believe it when you opened it.
Absolutely. All right. So yesterday you were like, Kyper, do you feel? And I'm like, yeah, I think I do.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, to Sammy's point, to open up the show, I watched Canada for sure, but now I'm watching the U.S. and Latvia. And once again, what the Olympics are truly all about are at a lot of times it's the little engine that could.
Totally.
And we are watching right now this Latvia team, and we've seen it in the past already, how they somehow rise to the occasion. Yeah. And when everybody thinks they should be walked over, they find a way to stay in the game.
Yeah, they've had a couple of fortuitous bounces, 2 goals overturned by the Americans. They're on the Americans there. Some good saves and all that. But yeah, yesterday we saw Italy do it to Sweden, and you don't have to win. You just give these superpowers a great game, and you get to call the Olympics a success. So that's the concern for Canada, is that they're going to come up against a team that does that to them. I got to tell you guys, that was a fantastic showing. What a start from the boys here. And McDavid and McKinnon, the team's best players, They always say you got to set the tone. They came out in the first 5 minutes. Both guys put a Czech player on the ice. Both guys had their feet flying. And just a fantastic start for Canada.
See, this is why we're so good together, is because you saw that, and I saw everybody underneath them step up.
Oh, good.
Right?
Yeah.
So the Bo Horvats, right? Suzuki, they all showed up. They all had a huge part. Marchand, who takes a kind of a backseat plugger role on this hockey club, makes a huge neutral zone pass where I'm not sure it gets noticed as much or
was it the Celebrini goal? Was it him who made the pass up? No,
it was McDavid passed it to McCarr, who shot it, and he tipped it in.
Yeah.
No, I know, but there's a breakout in the neutral zone that stretches the rink that gets them down there in the first place. That I couldn't remember who made that play. Either way, it was good.
So that's to me what stood out is that type of depth, and again, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and rule U.S. out of this tournament for a gold medal, but if Canada gets the type of goaltending that we're accustomed to seeing Binnington with this particular group, Canada ain't losing.
I mean, that was
They're not. The U.S. cannot beat Canada. From what I saw today.
Oh, talking about feeling. You're making me feel here, brother.
Binnington shows like we think he can show. I thought Binnington was terrific today, too.
Perfect. I had someone write me on Twitter, can't wait to hear what Bourne says about Binnington in game one, because yesterday I said they should start Thompson. Here's what I'll say about Binnington. He was perfect.
Yeah.
26 to 26, but not just that. His puck touches were perfect. His rebound control was good. He didn't go after the guy who fell on him. His poke check timing, like he was aggressive, but not too much.
Yeah.
He was perfect. He just played a very good game and validated your love of him and Cooper's love of him. Yours, I think you like him too. It's all. He was fantastic. So if he can give them that.
Not to get too deep into this, but it does make you wonder what the heck has been going on in St. Louis.
It does, right? Like, is he not committed to the cause? Is he
the defense not doing what he thinks they should be doing? Are they missing checks? Are they?
Yeah.
And I'm not taking him off the hook. Believe me, for the past year, but like it is worth someone other than me or you digging deep into where was the disconnect in St. Louis that made him have such horrific numbers coming into this tournament.
And, I'm not sure that one game validates all of this other stuff entirely. Well, there's still lots of hockey to be played for him. But I do think, like, let's say Binnington is just great in this event. All the way through, he plays great for them. It would be really cool to see a clear-cut case where numbers and analytics just can't see what people knew about a person.
Can't quantify it.
It's like this guy is someone who... And that would be really cool. It would be fun to have that validated. But at the same time, if that's the case, you say to the guy, did you quit on your team? Like, what is the shortcoming? What's going on in St. Louis? You're right, Kip. That'll be fascinating to watch. But that stuff aside, I mean, all I got is praise. We'll get to everyone, but
let's praise him. What was I guess we can start with this. Like, if there's one defining moment from the first game, is it, for me, it's on the first shift of the game that McDavid gets when he's playing on a line with Tom Wilson.
Pounds Sedlak.
Yeah.
Acts like he is Tom. Like I mean,
he's a human missile.
But
10 shot attempts, I think.
You watched him in that game. It kind of validates some thoughts I had. You watched him in that game against the Leafs, the last one the Leafs played before the break, where we came in the next day and we're like, yeah, you know what? Maybe playing a touch of a no-hitter before the Olympics start. And you watch him today, and it's like that guy with a head of steam versus some, good competition, but lesser competition than he's used to. I mean, he could win this thing on his own. But to see him run a guy into the end boards like that in the first shift, talk about setting the tone. I mean, that just fired me up. I thought it was Tom Wilson.
Tom Wilson himself, though, I thought was exactly what you wanted him to be. Like I don't know how many hits he had. It felt like at least 8. But there was a time when the Czech defender turned his back to him and Wilson and he pulled up and just kind of gave him a gentle bump.
Yeah.
There's times where he pulled up on what would have been late hits. He was really calculating. It is interesting to see once they get the puck in the O-zone, like, do you love Tom Wilson with those guys out there? He does something different than other people, right? He can create space for the other guys.
Yeah.
He fits.
And Czechia also had like a few game breakers too in their own right?
I thought Natchez was the most dangerous on the ice.
Really dangerous. Yeah. Pasternak, they just couldn't finish. But once you drop those two guys, off the roster, it's
pretty
like
lean.
really lean, really lean. And
totally.
That's, again, where you look at just the true depth of what Canada has to offer. Bennett with the accidental on purpose bump in the crease again.
He ran Dostal 2 minutes. I'm like,
I know.
You kidding me, man?
But he got away with it. It's like, that's on our team.
What did we talk about, right? This whole time. That's an element that is going to come into play. And if we need more examples, we shouldn't from what we've just seen today. And we're going to talk to Chris Pronger at the top of the hour, and we're going to get his thoughts as well. But this is so NHL hockey. This is so NHL officiated. It's so NHL. There's nothing remotely, at least in my eyes, that I've seen where you draw a line between international hockey and NHL hockey. And we know the officials are all predominantly NHL guys. So we're going to see a few bumps. We already saw in the second game, Austin Matthews take a shoulder to the head, no call. And it plays right into the hands of Sam Bennett.
Mm-hmm. It all, one of the defining things of Canada's game today was how physical everyone was. And so it's going to be all of them. Like I had hits written down for Hagel and for Makar and for Harley and Parayko. And it was just an overall physical game.
Since we can't play audio from the mix zone, would you like me to do a Connor McDavid impression of a clip?
Sure.
Connor McDavid on his tone-setting hit.
Sound richer, please.
Our team wants to play hard, and everybody wants to play hard at this tournament. You want to be a hard forechecking team, and it doesn't have to be just Willie or Benny or Marchie. It can be everybody. Yeah. So, the fact, I'm too patriotic. I just care too much about this, and we've talked about it in the past, especially with the juniors, about how we're kind of losing a bit of what makes Hockey Canada, what they are in terms of the physicality and what they used to be. And just to have the best player in the world going out in there and saying that we want to be physical, we want to forecheck, and makes me happy that they're prioritizing that kind of thing.
It does, if you're a Leafs fan, all, the best players on Canada in the big game when the puck drops and seeing those guys come out and do it. And it's the Leafs haven't had that.
No.
There hadn't been games you go, God, they just went out and took it. One thing I did want to note, so they dressed 13 forwards and 7D, which is absurd to me and doesn't make any sense. I don't know why they do it, but whatever, they do.
But every team, that's what they do in the Olympics. Every team does that, right?
Yeah. So Sweden, though, has chosen, which I probably would too, if I were the coach, to say, you're the two guys who would be scratched. You're going to dress, but you're just going to be on the bench. I'm not going to mess up all my lines trying to manage 13 forwards, whatever.
Yeah.
So Philip Forsberg dressed for Sweden and didn't play.
No, he did. He played a minute.
Okay, played a minute.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He had zero.
OEL had zero.
Zero for OEL who dressed. So I kind of think that's you're a healthy scratch, but if someone gets hurt, it's like bringing you out of the press box, basically. Cooper made a real effort to use everyone, and that to me was surprising. The lowest ice time anyone had was Bennett.
What did he get? Yeah.
7-13.
Yeah.
So he was involved, and, the lines were almost never the same for more than two or three shifts.
I'm blown away that a Swedish coach would do that to Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who is...
Oh, I feel totally differently.
Okay.
Sam Halam? Yeah, that's the coach, right?
What are your thoughts?
Well, Black Betty.
My thoughts are just that, you only need 12 and 6. You dress 12 and 6 in a normal game. Everything's 12 and 6.
I get it. But here's a guy, 34, 35 years old, still playing at a very high level in the National Hockey League. Yeah. He's been a good soldier. To your earlier point, you just credited Coop for putting Bennett out there for 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah.
You can't find 3 or 4 for Oliver Ekman-Larsson?
Against Italy?
I'm more surprised that Cooper did than I'm surprised that Halam didn't. But, yeah, now sitting here today, it does feel like, God, get him out there for a couple. Cooper wanted to get everyone involved.
I flew all the way out here, and you embarrassed.
I warmed up.
You embarrassed me like this. Nobody wants to get dressed, take warm-up, and sit on a bench for 2.5 hours and just cheerlead. Now,
but the point isn't that it's what you want.
I can, but that guy's good.
Yeah, but the point isn't the idea, today Bo Horvat said, I'd fill water bottles to be here. And isn't the point that you just do whatever to win, to be a part of it, that you're not putting yourself ahead of it in this case?
If we're talking quarterfinals, we're talking about a championship game, I'll buy that all day long. You want to talk about playing a host team like Italy, where my morning skate at North Toronto would have gave him a good run, and that's with the big E at tipping the Toledo a little higher than his normal days.
I actually totally agree with that.
Okay.
Statement. It would be, I think, it'd be a decent game.
Oh, God.
Italy. Come on.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, I get it.
Get him out there for a twirl. Get him out there on a couple of shifts just to say, hey, I respect you. I respect you.
Yeah. So Thomas Harley led Canada in ice time today, 20 minutes and 35 seconds. Guess Nate McKinnon's ice time.
Not that high.
14 minutes.
Yeah.
14:44.
They didn't. I mean, they were
got
running
four lines. They
were
got
running
four
it out.
lines, and they're all stars in their own right.
They're stacked.
McDavid played 18:04 though. He clearly prioritizes 97 over 29.
They're all
I probably would too.
frontline players, right?
Yeah.
Who have to check their egos at the door, like you said, and just fill water bottles if you have to. And
It's just, that is less ice time than, Marner, Crosby, Stone, Hagel, like most guys. So it's just noteworthy that 17-14 for Celebrini.
I'm going to be a very impartial journalist here, Kyper.
Yep.
Another thing that I wanted to get to from the game. I thought that Marner, Sid, and Mark Stone were the best line on the ice. I thought Marner in particular was great. I thought Mark Stone was really good. And Sid, it was a beautiful pass he made to Mark Stone.
Yeah.
And I thought he looked really good. So just wanted to give him some kudos because I thought he was excellent.
I had multiple texts after Marner set up Stone asking me if Sammy would have liked that or not.
Listen, it's complicated.
It's
complicated.
At the end of the day, it is a reminder of the one thing that he's left the Leafs, right? Is that high skill ability to
playmaking ability, yeah.
A pass like that. Right?
That line definitely to me has
real good.
They started them as they were the first line that started, sort of like as
Gotta start Sid. Hey, Cooper just gets it.
He does get it, but I like the feel of that line. Stone and him both really defensively responsible. They can push the pace. I like that line a lot. I did.
If just to kind of come back to the Binnington a little bit, I'll push it up where, if there was any concerns about Team Canada, it was the net and on the blue line.
Mm-hmm.
And today was an example, I think, that if you get the saves that you hope to, and you push the puck up to any one of those 13 forwards, you're fine.
Well, that's, yesterday you're going, can you win with a car wash D? And it's like, well, you don't have to do too much.
Today kind of proved that.
How much do you have the ice time still in front of you? How much Makar played today?
Ice time, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm looking for ice time today, and it's hard to find.
Impossible.
It's 2026.
It's a joke. 1851.
You go to some of the sites, and it's like goals, assists, and then PN, which is penalty, and it's like 1. I'm like, what is 1? What is 1? What are you guys like? Who's in charge
was
here?
It a 5? How many minutes?
1. A Suzuki. 1. 1 what? 1 penalty?
Shooting
it's
foul?
2. It's called 2.
Yeah.
2 minutes, and it's PIM.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right?
My son was doing an Olympic update
so
for their
funny.
4th grade class. This is part of like what they're doing, and we're trying to find stats yesterday. And it's like, okay, the goalie for the team yesterday had 0 shots. Just stats not updating. You're right. 2026.
2026. Right? Where we got chips in people's jerseys.
A car could drive you home without a driver.
I can find out the temp. I can find out what he ate for a pregame meal, but I can't find out how many penalty minutes he's got.
Oh my God, that's funny. Okay, hold on. Let me go to the Sportsnet app and see if they got it.
Oh yeah, Sportsnet app has everything. They got it.
Suzuki penalty. That was a penalty. I think Mike Johnson tried to sell it a little bit on the telecast that it had nothing to.
McKinnon ripped that.
He said it had nothing to do with the initial play on net, which they all do.
Well, it's interesting. Like if that puck enters the net before that guy falls down, I guess it's still a goal. And then they're short for 2 minutes after that. Like it seemed very disconnected from the actual goal. But yeah, you leave your stick between the guy's legs and he falls. Pretty typically going to get a penalty.
Pretty cool, Macklin Celebrini. First goal, winner.
He's so good.
The coolest part to me was 3.5 minutes into the game, he got a puck near him and he just heated up a one-timer.
I know.
No fear. Just let her fly.
youngest became the first teenager to score a game-winning goal in the Olympics involving NHL players?
We got Luke.
Luke.
Let's go all the way to Italy.
Oh,
Whoa! You
Looking
look
good, bud. Looking
incredibly
good.
professional.
Nice.
For those of you that cannot see Luke, he's got his Olympic microphone in front of him.
Nice.
I think you're in the media.
Are we allowed to show him?
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You got to black out the eyes.
Yeah. So Luke, how's your day going?
It's going well. Pretty busy. Feeling lucky that I got to watch a pretty incredible hockey team. Probably the best hockey team I've seen in my life. So, I feel very privileged. You know, you're sitting there watching this power play, and it's Crosby to McDavid to McKinnon, no doubt. And you're just like, this could be once in a lifetime type stuff. So, feeling pretty privileged, and I think anyone who was in the building should feel that.
Well, that's, fantastic, and something that, is tougher to get a feel for from here. Did it feel like fans there were pro Czechia? It's tough to get a sense here, but it wasn't an all Canada crowd, was it?
Not even close,
Okay.
Justin. No, it was all Czechia. Like, they were chanting and singing, and their flag seemed to be 3 times larger than the Canadians fans' flag somehow. Yeah. Maybe because they didn't have to travel as far. Someone pointed out it's like 125, 150 euros to take a train, whereas if you're coming from Canada, it's a little steeper than that. So it's understandable. But the Czechia fans, even when they were down 3-0, 4-0, they still tried to get some chants going. They were still very positive. It's not what I'm used to in Scotiabank Arena. So it was kind of an interesting scene. And you almost felt bad for them. Like, you wanted them to get one goal just to hear the pop, since it was so dominated by those fans. But what a performance by Canada.
You're watching and listening to our very own Sportsnet.ca, Luke Fox, covering Olympic hockey in Milan. Secrecy around starting the goalie, although they didn't fool us here on the panel. But overall, the thoughts about Cooper saying in his post-game interview that he had almost a year to know for sure that Binnington was the goalie, and just the overall performance of him, and the feeling now going with Binnington moving forward, Luke.
Yeah, no, he was absolutely solid. I don't think he was overly tested. It felt like a lot of one and done. Like, the Czechs didn't generate a lot of high danger stuff, but when they needed him to come up with a save, he absolutely delivered. And it's kind of crazy. The guy had lost his past 6 games coming into this with the St. Louis Blues, and I think it was 10 of his past 11. He has one of the worst save percentage of any starting goalie in the NHL. And then you flip a switch. Now, he's getting tons of run support. He's playing behind a much better defense, but he was locked in. He was solid. And all his teammates were saying, this guy's clutch. So I think it's his net until he loses it. It's a back-to-back tomorrow against the Swiss. I suspect that'll be Logan Thompson, just because Darcy Kemper was the healthy scratch here. So I would guess that that's his net. You're not going to overexert Binnington, even though he did pitch a shutout. But he's their guy, and I think he won the job at 4 Nations. Doug Armstrong has all the faith in him. John Cooper has all the faith in him. A couple days ago, he said, I don't even know why you guys are making this a story. It's not a story in our books. We have all the faith in the world in him.
Yeah, he obviously did the job tonight, and every reason to believe he'll be the guy in big games going forward here. So we'll keep an eye on that. One other thing, just trying to take advantage of you having been there. How was the pace of that game compared to an NHL game? It's tough for us to get that sort of feel. The other element of that is McDavid versus everyone else, because he just looked like the fastest thing to have ever played hockey.
Yeah, breathtaking. And he came out like he was shot out of a cannon, lays that big hit. It was fantastic. I don't know if it was quite 4 Nations level, because I actually asked a couple guys about the pace of play after, and some of them said, it was to that, but compared to a regular NHL game, Justin, it's way faster. It's way more intense. The guys just their decision making is faster. It's not just, the feet of guys like McCarr and McKinnon and McDavid. It's the pace of play, how quickly they make a pass, how quickly they jump into the battle. It's such a treat to watch, and it's going to be hard to go back to regular NHL hockey after this. Like, I feel poor Celebrini has to go back to San Jose after getting this treated like this.
Look, a lot was made out of the arena, and we know what the buildup was like. Sammy reminded us every day for like 4 months about whether or not the rink would be ready, but a lot was talked about of the dimensions, and I think at the end it was like 3.5 feet lost.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And was that noticeable when you watch? Does it feel smaller to you? And maybe that was part of the equation of why things need to move a lot faster.
That could be part of it. I think it's the sheer talent and the stakes of the tournament that probably contribute to the speed.
Look, was it noticeable?
That plays a factor.
Was it noticeable in your eye?
Tom, yes. And maybe it's because it might be one of those things because I'm looking for it, but it is noticeable a little bit for sure. And I talked to Tom Wilson about it. He said he noticed humming through the neutral zone that all of a sudden you're into the offensive zone a little quicker than normal. So the players are noticing a little bit. The other thing was the ice conditions. McKinnon said, it's not perfect, but he quickly said everyone's playing on the same stuff. So, it's fine. But the ice isn't as great as NHL quality. It's a little bit noticeable that the neutral zone has shrunk. And the other thing, Nick, is the corners are a little bit shallower. So in practices leading up to the games, all the teams were working on like dump-ins and board battles around the corners because the puck plays off them a little bit quicker because they're cut a little tighter.
It was funny. We were listening to you, and in the background we could faintly hear the reaction to a goal. And then on our other screen, we knew it was coming. The Americans just scored to make it 2-1 over Latvia. So the one concern from the game, Josh Morrissey left with an injury. Any sense of what that might be or how serious it is?
Well, we know he tried to come back and couldn't. Cooper was pretty evasive post-game about the severity of it. Wouldn't, give a hint, even upper or lower. So hopefully we'll know tomorrow. Now, the one thing is Travis Sanheim is there at the ready, so he'll be next man up. And the good thing about international rules is you can dress 7 defensemen and 13 forwards. So they didn't overexert guys. Shea Theodore just hopped up there, and you wouldn't even know it. The problem, though, is because a game has now been played, they can no longer bring in guys as injury replacements. I don't know if you guys remember Four Nations. There was all this debate about, can we bring in an extra guy? And Quinn Hughes is coming, and he's on a plane, and all this stuff after the games has started. You can't do that here. Once the puck drops, you can do it anytime up until your team plays a game. But now that Team Canada's tournament has started, they have who they have. So Sanheim will probably be in if Morrissey can't go. The other thing I'd say about Morrissey, poor guy, he got sick before the Four Nations final. So he was ready to participate when they won the gold. And he had this great quote after. He's like, I wanted to. It was the biggest game of my life, but I couldn't do it knowing that a healthier body could help my country more than me. So if he's not right, you'd have to think that he feels the same way.
Hey, I'm going to go ahead and take that as a shot at Matthew Tkachuk while Kyle Connor's sitting on the press box. I'm going to go ahead and just make that assumption.
Luke, Justin just mentioned USA now up a goal on Latvia. It just seems that everybody wants, if it's not destined, a Canada-US, right? Battle, a final for the gold. Is that where everybody's focused on? And if so, your thoughts on Sweden and Finland, Czechia you watched today. How much of a feel is there out there in Italy that one of these teams could kind of alter that course?
No, they're all long shots, Nick. There's a tiered system here. And there's only 2 teams in the top tier, and that's Canada and the U.S. And quite honestly, maybe it's because I like good stories, but I also think the hockey world deserves a Canada-U.S. gold match. Just the way things have been building, the sour taste that was left in the Americans' mouth, the way the Four Nations played out, the intensity of those 2 games that we got treated to in Montreal and Boston a year ago. I almost feel like the sport deserves that final. And of course, yeah, the Swedes, the Finns, who looked kind of shaky against Slovakia, and I have heard that the players are not on the same page as the coach in Finland, which is a little bit concerning. So, there could be an underdog story. There's lots of hockey to be played, but I almost feel like not only should we get a matchup between those two favored countries, but we almost deserve it after waiting this long because they're not in the same group. The only way we're going to see a clash with them is probably in a semi or in a final.
Yeah. It's let's certainly hope we get that matchup. That's something to keep an eye on. Question for you with the roster stuff. So Seth Jarvis was out last game. Cooper used everyone today, and I get the sense he wants to get everyone involved. Like, I don't think they're going to bring Seth Jarvis there and never get him in. So next game seems like the spot to me. Do you have any idea if he'll get in, and if so, who would come out?
I don't. My best guess might be Sam Bennett.
Yeah, it's
coming out. I think he had the lowest ice time, or pretty close. I think he might have been under 10 minutes. I don't think you're going to take out Marchand unless he's feeling a little sore, but he hardly played. That would be my best bet. But yeah, it's a perfect opportunity to get him in. Switzerland is probably a beatable opponent. Back to back, you have extra bodies. Yeah. Why not use them?
Just one more for me, Luke, and I'm sure we'll let you go and get back to the action here. But we were talking earlier about the ability to dress an extra forward, an extra D, and at times I think it's there's a feeling that if you are the 13th guy or the 7th D, you're just not going to play all that much. As someone that has covered the Toronto Maple Leafs, in particular OEL, Ekman Larson, not 1 second. And is there a sense from you on how that went with OEL, or if it's just a normal situation? Because I'm sitting there going, you're not playing the Montreal Canadiens of the mid-'70s here. You're playing Italy. Find the guy a few shifts.
I'm with you. And then Philip Forsberg barely played. I think he was under 2 minutes. Which is good news for your guy Pontus Holmberg there, Nick. But other than
my guy, I should be getting.
He is your guy.
I should be getting
your boy
agent fees.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. If you're going to dress him, play him. I didn't talk to OEL after the game, so I don't know how he feels about it. But I do know that he left his pregnant wife at home to come and do this. Because he didn't want to risk anything happening. She's going to be delivering within the month or so. So he came and left his young son to go and chase this Olympic dream. He got silver last time in Sochi and has been working so hard with the Leafs. I think he's been their best defenseman this season just to earn the honor. So he gets in the lineup and doesn't get to throw a leg over the boards against the Italians. I'm with you. It's a bit of a head scratcher. And, these coaches have to figure out the best way to use these extra players. I get that you don't want to throw off the rhythm of your sixth defenseman. But like you said, no medals on the line. You're playing the Italians. A game you should win. Give the guy a shift.
And before we do let you go, Willie Nylander played his game against Sweden and played pretty well. He's not practicing with them.
You're not allowed to say it.
I feel like he's not going to play for the Leafs again this year. I feel like he's just going to pour it all out there.
Come on.
But I mean, he's really fighting it, Luke.
He is fighting it, and I don't know if the softer ice helps. I'm sure you guys saw the highlight of where we suspect he may have aggravated his groin in Vegas, and it's just like one little edge maybe could set him back a little bit. So I get that there's a little bit of load management going in terms of the practices. This is his second straight practice that he missed, but he wants to be an Olympian. He's going to play in the games. I'm not writing him off for the Leafs. He's a pretty durable guy.
Just note in the future, Luke, soft ice never helps.
Yeah, it doesn't help anyone ever.
Yeah.
Luke, also, you look fantastic. You look like a big-time reporter with the mic and the suit. Great Great vibes today.
You know what he's also telling you? You look like crap every other time you've been on our show. That's what he's saying to you.
I know. This is better than my kitchen table, isn't it?
Luke, great stuff as always, man. We'll get you back on soon, okay?
Okay, ciao.
Enjoy Italy, buddy. Jealous.
Ciao.
So
now.
jealous.
Ciao. He's in Italy. Ciao.
How nice would that be? Just go have a Nutella-filled pastry for breakfast and an espresso every day?
Well,
sounds awesome.
I think it was, what game was it that Bieksa was it this morning, or maybe I forget what game it was, but he was talking about the first impression and how he walks around in Italy and he sees everybody doing this thing where they sweep their front steps, and he called it by like the proper name. Yeah. And he's like, it's about first impressions. Like, these guys go over there saying ciao. They're talking about like, oh my God.
Adapting to the culture quickly.
They're getting
they shut down the town to have a little nap, right? Midday.
Have you guys been to Italy?
2 to 4. Usually
Italy is one of the best places.
I haven't been many places. I did get to Italy, though, and it was extremely cool.
Okay, what's on tap here?
Do you want to give a little update on what's going on in the USA-Latvia game before we go to break?
I saw it out of the corner of my eye. Brock again at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the U.S. is on top of them with their knees on their arms, punching them in the nose repeatedly, but it's only 2-1.
Yeah.
26-11 in shots.
I will say I've been keeping an eye on it. Brady Tkachuk
He's a menace.
He is an animal. And he just had a mid-air collision with one of the Latvian guys. He went to the net. He speared somebody in front of the net. That's a guy I'm not necessarily looking forward to play in a big game against Canada.
He
seems very, very driven.
Yeah.
So, 2 disallowed goals.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, offside review and then a goaltender interference review where apparently, Fried was talking about how there's a real, because the combo rule book that's kind of been talked about. Apparently, they're really strict on the goaltender interference. I thought it was a pretty soft call. That would have been
a no goal in the NHL.
You think? I mean, why you protect these goalies? They got the most equipment on it. Everybody, you can't touch them.
You're talking to the king who liked to bother goalies. Okay.
Yeah. Was there something very famous that happened?
The rule, and I totally respect this, is that if you volunteer yourself into the blue paint, you are looking for nothing but trouble. Okay. Whether or not you think he barely touched him or not, you have to give the goaltender the ability to at least come to the top of the blue uninhibited. Okay? You can't stop him from coming out and closing off the angle if you're in the blue paint. So whether or not there's a ton of contact or not is almost irrelevant. You've stopped me from using my space. And that's no goal.
All right.
What is it that's on the roof of the Sistine Chapel? Is it where the 2 fingers, the god, whatever the heck that is?
It's 2 fingers. That's all I know.
That was the contact between his pants and the goaltender.
I know.
Is there contact? Oh,
it didn't help JT Miller that by the time the overhead has you in the blue paint, there's not another defender in our shot. Right? You volunteered yourself to go into the blue paint. And
I thought they would call it no goal too, by a hair.
Yeah.
But it was a absolute breath.
Okay, here's the other one on the offside. Okay? Now, I get that Quinn Hughes passed it to him, and he entered both skates in before the puck crossed.
Yeah.
So, absolutely offside, no goal.
Okay.
But I want to change that. You cannot in any way put yourself offside if you have the puck. Right?
Explain.
You cannot.
You can't.
You should be able to carry the puck over the blue line any which way if you have it. You cannot put yourself offside.
Mm-hmm. I believe that's currently the rule. If you have possession.
I think it has to do with you touching the puck.
But if you have possession, and you're saying, so let's say your skates are in the zone, but you have solid possession of the puck.
Even if you don't have,
but that's the Cale Makar thing from the Oilers.
If you've touched the puck and no one else has touched it between you and crossing the blue line,
you can't put yourself.
Then as long as you are the first one in the zone, and not your teammate, then play on.
I'm fully on board.
So
I just think it might be the rule currently.
You do think it's the rule?
I kind of do. But I know what you're saying.
No, I think it's a matter of whether they think you have possession or
Yeah,
not.
it's a possession.
Right,
And I'm
but like
saying-
you can skate backwards
I'm
into the
saying
offensive zone, stick handling the puck.
I'm saying it should be irrelevant whether you have possession or not.
Ugh,
Right?
Just put the
Anyways,
mouth guard in your mouth.
anyways,
Matt,
yeah,
Kachuk.
possession should be
Yeah.
not. It shouldn't exist.
Hey, this
Anyways.
neck guard stuff, these guys, everyone has to wear a neck guard. It is hilarious
It's
watching the
embarrassing.
guys who clearly hate it. And so they're just wearing like a shoestring. They've got it taped smaller. It's baggy. It's just like a dangling dog.
It's
you know?
it's gonna do nothing.
No. It is
Right?
legitimately like a dog's collar that you're going to like take them for a walk or something.
That's too funny.
I mean, at least wear like a little mock neck undergear or something. I don't know there's no solution.
I would say
If they don't want to wear it, don't make them wear it.
I would say watching this USA game out of the corner of my eye and watching Team Canada today, I would advise against not taking penalties against these two teams.
The power plays.
The power play, like, I mean, that is a big thing that jumped out to me. I mean, it's so similar to the goal that they scored to open against the Four Nations that Canada scored today, where it's Crosby to
twice,
McKinnon.
Crosby, McDavid, McKinnon
That
in the
is-
same goal, and it's
That's
clinical.
Awesome. That's just awesome.
That's actually why you have this event, to see those guys do it
Yes.
together, not in an all-star game, when they're all trying and the defense is trying.
Let's go to break so we can watch this power play for 5 minutes.
All right, sounds sweet.
All right, you heard the man. More real Kyper and Bourne after these words. Welcome back to the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee.
U.S. scored 10 times. Weird.
Yeah, including a just filthy tic-tac.
So as far as the Canadian team is, we talk about like that depth that they have, but we acknowledge that there's Connor and there's Nate, and then there's the rest of the team. Did we say the same thing about Brock Nelson and the USA team? There's Brock Nelson
and everybody else.
And then there's everybody else. Like, who is everybody else on the USA team? And like, will that factor in?
The game changed on a Brady Tkachuk hit, turnover, chance, shift. And just like that to me is who the rest of that team is the Tkachuk brothers with Jack Eichel.
But Canada has a Sam Bennett that can do that.
Oh, yeah.
They got
the U.S. has nothing up front that
Hagel
Canada
can do.
have.
You know, Hagel's, and I know Brady's probably a notch up of those guys when it comes to like being big and strong, right? Like harder, physical type of hockey.
Not
the guys
more than
are,
Sam Bennett,
but
maybe
a little heavier.
I think he's a little more reckless.
Well, no, not really.
No,
you think
no,
Brady's
reckless.
more reckless or Sam's more reckless?
Brady's just like
I think they're tied.
Brady's a soup sandwich.
I
He's
think-
just a mess.
I think
Just limbs everywhere.
Bennett's way more sneaky dirty than Brady.
For sure.
Bennett's
To me, that's controlled and
Bennett's
planned.
smooth and calculated to me.
Yeah.
He does reckless things,
Yeah.
but he sees it coming and he tries to do
Brady
it.
just missed a backdoor tap in, and like a little kid was like, "Oh man!"
Yeah.
Like, smack his
He's
stick on
out
the
of
ice.
control.
He is
But
just-
if you look at the closest that they have to Connor and Nate, it would.
Comes from their back
You
end.
think it, but you think it Jack Eichel? No,
that's not same tier.
Hughes, Jack.
The same tier's not in the league or the
Right.
planet, Kip. It's not on the planet.
It's not on the planet. Yeah,
They're the best two forwards in the world. So the back end, yes, Hughes can do his thing. Werenski's very good.
I'm watching this.
Very, very, very good.
I'm watching this, and one of the complaints that I've had about the women's game forever is that it's just we're all waiting for one game.
Yeah.
And that it's just USA and Canada are so much better than everybody else at that level. And I mean, USA seems way better than Canada this year. Boy, that first game was a bit of a wake up call. But like, are we at that now with the men's? Like, is there any way Sweden beats them or Finland beats them? I can't see it.
Since 1972, with the exception of the miracle in 1980, it was always Canada and Russia. There was also Sweden, and we had learned late 70s about Borje Salming and Hedberg and Nielsen, who came over and played for the Rangers.
Robert Nielsen?
Ulf Nielsen.
What was the name of what was the other guy that came with?
Anders Hedberg and Ulf Nielsen and Borje Salming. So they brought us light of Sweden.
Okay.
But it's kind of the same thing today, and all that's happened is Russia or USA is now stepped in for Russia against Canada. So to Sam's question, it's kind of always been that way.
Yeah? Like, I don't know.
With the favorites.
I guess you're right. Like, you look back at the Olympic medals that have had NHLers. Sweden won it one time, right? They won it one time. The Czechs won it one time, and then every other time has been
Won in
Canada.
06. Was
Yeah.
the NHLers there?
Yeah, those ones with Sundin and Forsberg.
I'm not.
Like, they have won
know.
it.
I'm just saying,
You're
like,
saying there's two
there's a couple of white, Sweden won the gold for sure, and it was.
But America's
World
never won the gold
Championships
with
they've
NHL.
won, but as far as kind of having any sustainability, now it's Canada, USA for maybe
The
eternity.
whole thing is that the world is going to catch up, but it hasn't been happening outside of the Americans are catching up, if not have caught up. But you're right. There still seems to be just a tier at the top of a couple. And let's not trying to get too far ahead of ourselves here. Like, obviously, Sweden has a ton of great players. You can lose a hockey game to them at any point. But, like the B team Canada could field versus Sweden's B team is night and day.
I'm just, the next game that Canada's going to play, like, they're not going to play a really good team until, the quarters. It depends on who that comes out of that. There's going to be that play-in thing. If Canada wins their group, and by the way they look today, they're playing against France and Switzerland.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to picture them losing to either of those teams, but they could. I just they're not going to play a good team potentially till the semis, right? So it's just a long time to wait. I don't know. This doesn't feel like as deep as I did when I was a kid. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I mean, Italy and Latvia put up fights in their games.
You're paying more attention as an adult, though, too.
Well, I mean, that's an interesting point. Like, I definitely didn't consume it with the thought of having to talk about it, right? Like, I just was like, oh, they won, yeah. It wasn't coming in here having to give takes about it. But anyways.
Well, so that battle would possibly happen in the semis at the earliest against the American side.
Yeah.
Curious to see how that goes.
So they play Switzerland tomorrow.
Switzerland won their opening game against France 4-0. I believe superstar Nino Niederreiter is there.
Anyone else we know?
Guy to keep an eye on.
Yeah, Yossi is and
Captain.
And the guy from the Devils. And another guy from the Devils. Oh my God, I'm feeling like the biggest idiot of all time. Somebody save me.
He's Swedish.
The guy that the Leafs were going to trade for from the Sharks.
Jaja would have had
Timo Meier. Thank you.
Jaja would have had it in our lineup.
Yeah,
all the stats of every team, every player.
Oh yeah.
That's okay.
But they got Timo Meier. Like my prediction, closer game tomorrow than it was today.
Oh yeah,
really?
Yeah. I've talked about this on multiple.
It's tough to see this team.
Listen, I think Canada's going to win,
and Logan will start.
Canada will win, don't get me wrong, but Switzerland historically has always given us a tough game, including taking us to a shootout in 2010. They beat us in 2006 with David Asheber. Or Abisher? Or Asheber?
Yeah.
What did I say? Asheber?
Doesn't matter.
Abisher. They're plucky. They're plucky.
Looking at the stats again today from the Canadian team, curious to see, one of my takeaways today was that Devin Taves doesn't get enough love. Like, I know everyone kind of thinks of him as like a Cale Makar hanger-on.
Yeah.
He does everything well. Like, I feel very comfortable when he's on the ice.
The trade Lou probably wants back.
Oh, yeah, that one didn't sit very well. Doughty was good, just going through these... we gotta go quickly, but the last thing I'll bring up, I put in the lineup. 5 members of Team Canada can join the Triple Gold Club if they do win the gold medal. Sid is the only one right now that has it. But McKinnon, Stone, Marchand, Reinhart, and Darcy Kemper can all join the Triple Gold Club. Darcy Kemper?
Yeah, so
that's a shock.
That's a cool one. It's a cool one.
All right, halfway through. Our thanks to Luke Fox. He's covering the games for us in Italy.
God, he looked good.
He looked great. He may stay there.
Ciao. Ciao, Bello.
They just end every segment, ciao.
Ciao.
Chris Pronger to break down Team Canada when we returned on our National Hour. All right, let's take it national on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. We are live on Sportsnet 360, 650 in Vancouver, 960 in Calgary, and streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. Also available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. Keep the chats going. Give us a thumbs up. Much appreciated. And if you're not already subscribing to Sportsnet, please do so. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. This hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. In a few minutes, we'll welcome in Stanley Cup champion, gold medalist, done it all, Chris Pronger.
I got to say, weird coming in today to do this show after Canada played. You know, we do so many Leafs games, and the main takeaways are like, boy, everything went right.
This must be what it's like cheering for the Dodgers.
Yeah, you know, it's like,
Wow,
the good players were awesome all the time.
Yeah.
Everything was good.
Yeah.
Great. Nice saves.
Yeah.
Boy, they shot it in the net more than the other team did.
Had the puck the whole night.
And it's not
Everything was
like-
great. Wouldn't change a thing.
It's not like they were playing like
Dogs.
dogs.
No.
Right?
There's Pasternak and Natchez, and there were some guys
Pretty
over there.
dangerous players.
Yeah. I
But
saw
from
Natchez
the-
have one rush and Pasta dangled to the middle one time.
From the net on out, everybody contributed. Everybody got noticed. From the stars to the depth. Like, yeah, maybe too good too soon.
Well, I was like, okay, so you want to get Jarvis in, you know, maybe you take out Bennett. He played the least. I liked Bennett. I thought he forechecked, had a couple good hits, had a shot, another attempt. It was a plus,
Stay within yourself.
you know? Yeah.
Just quick housekeeping note. Tomorrow, because we're moving around all this because of game times for Canada, tomorrow we will be an hour from 2 p.m. Eastern to 3 p.m. Eastern to
Pre-game show.
do a little setup. And boy, who better to call than to set up Team Canada versus Switzerland?
We're on
than
the
man
air. What
himself.
time? Sorry,
2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Doug McLean.
buddy.
Doug McLean
I'm
is
telling
the
you
where
right now,
that was leading.
If you just didn't mention that, I'm showing up for 4 to 6.
You just found out?
Yeah.
Well, we like you think we're distracted now with the USA Latvia game. You think we're going to be able to do a
Yeah,
show
we
during a
physically
Canada game?
couldn't
We'd
do a
all just
show.
be sitting there staring at the
Goal.
game.
Another good shot attempt there, hey, boys?
Hey, way to go there.
For those of you that didn't catch our first hour, just a bit of a recap, JB, in terms of from the net on out. If there were any question marks, it was totally in net. What you saw out of Binnington, we had a pretty good, healthy conversation on Binnington or Thompson yesterday. What did you see in terms of Binnington's performance today?
Yeah, I mean, perfect. You know, I think that was how I described it in the first hour. Just 26 shots on net. I thought he controlled the rebounds well. I thought he played the puck well. He was everything that Cooper thought he was going to be when they put him in that spot. So certainly tough to complain.
I think with him is that, you know, as I like to say, he can get a little bit horned up. And it just if he can just kind of stay within himself, make saves when you're supposed to, don't come flying into the net, don't play pucks when you're not supposed to, just quiet Binnington.
Yeah.
If he can be quiet Binnington, they'll be fine.
Yep.
No better guest to have to open up these Olympics than our next guest, Chris Pronger. He's lived it. He's gone through it. And we're going to dive into that moving forward. Progs, thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So we described a lot of what we saw out of Canada as being pretty darn perfect right now. And I'm wondering in terms of your past experience of starting a tournament like this, with so many emotions, pent up stuff over months, if not years for some of these guys, and the potential for an opening game to go wrong. I mean, was it out there today for them at all? Any pitfalls starting a tournament?
Not the way they started the game, that's for sure. I think we got exactly what was advertised as, right out of the gate. McDavid, McKinnon, Crosby, Celebrini. You saw the depth that Canada has up front. I think you guys were just talking about it. The alleged or perceived Achilles heel was goaltending and maybe the depth on defense. We'll see, how injuries play out on the back end. I think if anything, that would be the biggest concern. But when you have a goaltender like Jordan Binnington, who plays the puck as well as he does, it takes a lot of pressure off your defense. In the tight confines of the NHL rink and a little minus 3 feet, having a goaltender that can play the puck like that, certainly gives you an advantage.
Chris, having played in big games in the past, how does that prepare you for this? Like, I'm watching this game, and McKinnon, who has a cup, and McDavid, who's been to the Cup Finals twice and won the Four Nations, they just seem not overwhelmed by the moment. And, you don't see that all the time from guys. I'm sure you went through that in your career. What changes for guys after they've experienced that?
Yeah, I think the build-up to this tournament, too, they've been looking forward to this since 2014.
Right.
And they've negotiated the opportunity to be there.
They've paid to be there. More
importantly, they have paid mightily to be there. Obviously, with the current schedule and how compressed it is, they've earned the right now to take advantage of it and play in these Olympic Games. So they're going to take full advantage of it. They're going to leave it all out there. And we certainly saw that here in the first game against Czechia. Not a lot of mistakes were made, not a lot of holes to dissect, but Czechia outside of that first line, not very deep, a very potent first line, but they kept them in check for the most part. And, that'll be the interesting thing as the tournament goes on, how are they getting better and better? Can you get better than that first game? And what can you improve on? And how much is going to remain in the tank, if you will, moving forward once you get into the medal rounds where it's win or go home?
For sure, there's a familiarity when it comes to Binnington just from the Four Nations alone. But just talk to us a little bit, because you had a goalie that could handle the puck in Marty Brodeur, and how quickly you could adjust to that, especially in a new rink where the dimensions are much different than they had in the NHL, and it didn't seem to faze them at all. But can you speak of the first time that you worked with a guy like Marty Brodeur, who has gone down in history as maybe one of the best?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a difference when you haven't played with a goaltender like that can manage and handle the puck and be deceptive and buy time for you as a defenseman to then transition and get north-south with the puck. It really helps. And we haven't played with a player like that. You go to the wrong spots. You go to try to get the puck from him as opposed to getting open for him and creating a passing lane and things of that nature. So there's a little bit of an adjustment, but it is very quick. It can be done in a couple practices. You kind of readjust your targeting system, if you will, and alignment on the ice. And then from that, you're able to utilize your weapons, which are up front and were on full display today.
Just one more prongs on Binnington, because I thought, at times it could have been a 2-2 score, or maybe even put them up. He was that good today. Justin and I had a conversation in the first hour about Binnington and how it's almost like he's a different goalie. You're in the St. Louis area. You probably watch the Blues a little closer than maybe some other teams. We couldn't come up with an explanation of why his numbers were so bad and how many people question him and how he can look like a world-class all-star goaltender today. Do you have any thoughts on that at all, on how he can go from Jekyll to Hyde?
And did it last year.
Yeah.
Not to that degree. People want to look at analytics and look at the data and say that St. Louis has defended better than maybe Jordan Binnington's analytics or data says. I would argue the opposite. The games that I've broadcast and also been to, their defense has struggled. They've struggled in the defensive zone. They give up a lot of grade A chances. The one thing that I saw today and the one thing that I've seen this year and a little bit last year, he's having a hard time with traffic in front and seeing around guys. And a lot of times he looks like he's guessing where to be in the pile and where to look around. And there was a couple times late in that third period where I saw him kind of just set and just hope it hit him. So I think that's something to be cognizant of. And that's a conversation with the defenseman and trying to clear the front or where you want him to position so that he knows where he wants to look around him in order to see the puck or, see a cross ice seam pass, things of that nature. So, outside of that, I thought he played really, really well. And playing in front of defense like that, and frankly, the way they played team defense, the forwards played extremely hard coming back, a lot of backside pressure, allowed the defense to stand up and force a little bit more at the blue line, which they're going to need as they advance in the tournament. So a lot of positivity, a lot of positives coming out of the game today with, a few minor things that they can clean up. And you hope as they progress in the tournament, they can do that.
Chris, one of the things that's fascinating about this event is seeing Italy, kind of make it tough on Sweden. Seeing Latvia hang in there with the U.S. It's over now. It's 5-1. But, these underdogs hang in there. And that's always the concern when you're Canada. Now, Canada and Latvia had a 2-1 game. Was it in 2014? What are your thoughts? Like, what is it like playing, I don't want to say bad teams, playing the lesser teams with no expectations?
Yeah.
What are the challenges there?
Well, there's a couple challenges. One, they are using Canada as a measuring stick. So they're leaving it all out there. They're blocking shots. They're doing everything they can to try to keep the game close. Mm-hmm. Secondly, and this is where the 3 feet comes into play in the neutral zone, they're going to sit back and they're going to force you to come through 5 players. They're not really going to forecheck. They're going to try to keep it close. When they get an opportunity to get it in and get some offense and get some attack, they're going to. And then they're going to sit back and force you to make mistakes, try to frustrate you, try to make you plays out of character. And so once they're able to do that, now they've kind of got the template and they keep the game close and they hang around. And one bad bounce, and next thing you know, the game's tied or they have a lead. So I think you saw that a little bit yesterday in that Italy game with Sweden. The goaltender gets hot. You never know what can happen. And we saw that with that Latvia game you're speaking of. So it's just a matter of sticking to your guns and just being diligent to the process, to the way that you play, to the details and structure of the game that the coaching staff has put into place and how you're supposed to play, and just being relentless, which is what we saw today from Canada. Getting in the grind game. They looked like they were ready to dump it in, get on the attack, force Czechia into being back on their heels. And then you saw them utilize the whole offensive zone. Low to high, side to side, down low, back into the slot for a grade A scoring chance, taking and funneling pucks to the front of the net, creating traffic and problems in front of the net. And if they're able to do that against some of the higher ranked teams, if you will, the Swedens and the U.S. and teams of that ilk, I like their chances.
You're watching and listening to Chris Pronger, Hockey Hall of Famer, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, of course, Stanley Cup champion as well. We are talking Olympics, Team Canada. Prongs, the one thing that's been consistent for a very long time is watching frontline players come into this situation and take a lesser role. You watched it. You witnessed it with your gold medals. Today I'm watching Bo Horvat, Nick Suzuki, frontline players on their own right, on their respective teams, but know that there's a different feel and a different role. What did you see out of the lesser likes of a McDavid and Nate McKinnon today?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, you look at those top end guys; they played phenomenal. But to your point, it's those other guys that are accepting the lesser role, if you will, the guys that are going to be blocking shots in the penalty kill, the guys that are going to be taking face-offs and doing the dirty work in the defensive zone. Those guys played extremely well too. And that's what it's going to take for them to be successful and ultimately come home with a gold medal. It's those, we can call them a bottom six.
Yeah.
They're not really, but they're going to be on this team. And that's the trick is the depth that they're going to have down the middle, the depth on the wings, the ability to roll 4 lines and not have much of a drop off, and then have those guys to get the extra minutes. They got to do the dirty work and be accepting of that role, and then to execute and take action and go play to the highest level in those roles is what it's going to take.
Just off the top of your head, what are the names that come to mind right away during your runs?
Well, I'll tell you, like 2010, Rick Nash was a penalty killer, 50 goal scorer, and he was one of our main penalty killers. Yeah. And I think he learned from 2006 where he was put in a scoring role. And then on this team, we had Getzlaf, Perry, Crosby, Iginla, Richards was Brendan Morrow at the time. We had Thornton, Marlowe, Heatley, just looking at those names and who was going to play where. He was very accepting of that role. Brendan Morrow, who did a similar role in Dallas at the time, kind of led the charge in that regard. on that particular team, we had Patrice Bergeron as our 13th forward. And he was playing very, very limited minutes. He might have got 2 minutes. He was taking face-offs in the defensive zone and things of that nature. But, I think when guys buy in and they just, not to say that they're just happy to be there, but they're happy to be, they made the team. They just want to provide some role on the team and be a part of this and go out and, make history and be a part of history for Canada, I think is really cool to see. And when players of that caliber take on those roles and then they take it to the next level and buy in, and you see them sacrificing for the greater good of the team, that galvanizes everybody and brings everybody together and really creates that chemistry and that bond you need in the locker room.
Prongs, your relationship with your coaches was probably different because you were a Hall of Famer and you probably had a little bit of a voice with them, but not everyone in a dressing room has that sort of connection with their coach throughout a year. But so throughout a year, it's almost like you and your coach, there's like a relationship, almost a marriage. It's every day. It's you're a lot of communication back and forth. The Olympics has to be a bit of a honeymoon where you have this new coach. It's a short-term thing. It doesn't I'm curious how the relationships work. Like if you don't like the coach's message in the Olympics, are guys quicker to be like, shut up. I don't have to listen to you. You're not going to be around very long.
Just open the door.
It just opened the door.
Yeah.
I'm curious about the dynamics and how it changes in the Olympics.
Yeah, and that's when it doesn't work.
Right.
I think watching today, you saw Rick talking to Sidney Crosby, and he was utilizing his experience and being on the ice. He looked like he was describing a play and describing, a situation that happened on the ice to kind of bring it to the attention of the coaching staff. And then I saw Rick Tocchet walk down and he went and talked to Peter DeBoer and was kind of mapping it out and talking. So things like that where, you're coming together as a group and you're really kind of in sync, which I saw today. You don't necessarily always see that. And I've been a part of a couple where you were a little disjointed and maybe not on the same page. And it shows in the product on the ice.
Is there a tendency for coaches in your experience when things are going well just to kind of just don't overanalyze, don't overthink?
They must kiss everyone's butt. Okay, you want all these superstars to like you so they say good things when there's open jobs.
Right?
Well, and I think that's one of the big proponents of why they took so many guys from the Four Nations. Comfortable with them. They were accepting of their roles. They fit the specific role that they were looking for while also being, some of the best players in the National Hockey League. And it's a nice luxury to have when you're able to pick, as you talked about, Nick Suzuki and Bo Horvat to play in those alleged lesser roles or maybe not offensive-minded roles. And, as a coach, you look at John Cooper, he's got an incredible personality. You see the way his players react to him in Tampa. I think these players, you can take advantage of a situation in the Olympic Games like this where everything's kind of coming together. You're building off the Four Nations. It was a great ending to a tough tournament. And now you see the Olympic Games are finally here, and now you see what the players are doing on the ice. And, I think they've put everything into place and they've been building to this moment. And now it's like, okay, it's up to you guys. Go finish it. And I think we saw a little bit of that today.
So, Prongs, as you continue to do more media, you figured out real quick that we make stories up, right? Even when you don't have them. So let me ask you this before you leave. Are you an Olympic Village type of guy, or are you a 5-star room service guy?
Well, I wish I would have had the option. It would have been nice to have an option of where would you like to go. All four Olympics I was a part of, we were in the Olympic Village. Not that was a bad thing. Had we had the option in a couple of them, I may have chosen. See you, boys. But I will say the Vancouver Olympics was by far, from a accommodation standpoint, was the best. Nagano was rough. Everything was small, as you might imagine, and
tough for a guy
the
with
walls
your
were
build.
very, very thin.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's
Gotcha.
so funny. Prongs, really appreciate your time on our show today, because I can't think of anybody better to have on today. Thanks for doing this, pal.
You bet. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thanks, appreciate it.
That is the one, the only Chris Pronger.
Yeah, like I can imagine there's been a few. Listen, I'm not the size of Pronger. I'm tall.
You're almost the size of
There's a
Pronger.
few beds that I've laid in my life where the toes, your legs are sticking out off the end.
You're like, I'm competing in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Can I get a good sleep?
Listen, I was just in Mexico City. My wife was making fun of me because she's like, why are your legs sticking off at the end of the bed? It's like, because the bed's too short.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's not me.
Yeah, it's a thing. So
Yeah.
he would have stayed at the Ritz.
Yeah, definitely.
He would have stayed at the Ritz. That was great.
Been through some battles. I do think the coach player dynamic would be fascinating because obviously as the coaches, you want all these guys to leave going, that's a great coach. That would be very good for your career. But at the same time, sometimes guys need to hear some things.
I don't know if that's the case. I think some of them actually might enjoy someone not thinking he was great, but he found a way to get the most out of you, and at the end, we won.
Oh, whatever. Great is
Winning, just winning.
Yeah.
Right?
What did you do to,
I don't know
get
if-
us across the line?
I don't think you'll ever get, the split usually, in my opinion, is 7-7-7, love, hate, and indifferent.
Mhm.
And I don't know, probably Cooper's the same way.
There's a old Casey Stengel line, baseball manager, which is the hardest part of coaching is to keep the guys who hate you away from the guys who haven't yet decided. That's pretty much the whole job of coaching.
That's hilarious.
Minimize the amount of guys in the room.
You're working on a book with Daryl Sutter,
Yeah.
which
Well, that
would be
quote may or may
interesting.
not be in that book.
but I'm sure you're diving into that dynamic.
Well, yes, but the reality, I think is if you are someone who your job is to get the most out of people, to squeeze the last 2% out of guys to get you across the line, and you coach for 30 years, you're going to run into guys who it doesn't work with, and they don't like you. And what you do then is absolutely nothing. And you just try to get the most out of every single person. It's not going to work for everyone.
So I think, you'd be pretty, I don't think you'd get picked for Team Canada if you're going to go in there and be like, I'm playing how many minutes? Like, I think there's probably some stories over the years of guys doing it. But at the same time, like
guys have been left off because they think they will.
Potentially. But Bo Horvat today, like you said, he was like, I'll fill water bottles to be here.
Yeah.
Like, it feels
By
like.
the way, that makes me emotional. That's I love that.
I loved his game today. It was a gorgeous goal that he scored.
It is really not.
But who's going to complain that they get to Team Canada and they're like, oh, I didn't get enough ice time? If you were complaining, you probably wouldn't be on the team. That's how I feel.
It's really, it's not hard to figure out that over time, nobody really truly remembers the amount of games that you played or the minutes that you played. You're just either a champion or you're not.
Totally.
And I've lived it through a 94 Stanley Cup, right? Nobody remembers how many games I played, or it's just like you're either champion or you're not, or you're
part of a successful team.
You're only going to be remembered as a guy that won or lost at that event.
Funny that you mentioned that
Right?
from this book that I'm working on. That is the greater idea where you have so many guys who I want more goals, more money, more opportunity, more. But when your team wins, everyone wants you. That gets you more. You go, he's a winner. Come play for us. We'll sign him to do that for us.
So
that's how you get more.
I'll depress Sammy a little bit and talk about the Blue Jays
No.
and Barreros.
Oh, Barrios.
Barrios
Yeah.
left.
I can't believe they brought him.
Okay, left.
Quit.
Can you imagine? So there's an athlete. There's an athlete,
But he's back.
that did
I
not.
don't know how that works.
Me neither.
But he did not want to fill water bottles to say he was a World Series champion for the Toronto Blue Jays. Didn't want to be like Bo Horvat or any of them that would say, I'll do whatever it takes. And there are athletes like him. And it's so sad at the end of the day for me.
Well, they probably won't play for Team Canada if that's their mentality, though. Right?
No,
for sure.
Yeah.
But there's also some that can fool you a little bit too.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, Bo Horvat may be like, I would fill water bottles at the same time. He's like,
That's
God,
not
I wish I
happening.
had 3 more
That's
minutes.
not
on this
happening
time
on
today.
Team Canada. But to think that it still exists for some athletes
Yeah, I can't believe they
on a
brought back
team
Bo Horvat.
sport, right?
They got to get rid of him.
Yeah, like, I mean, apparently he apologized to the team, but
Don't care.
I mean, so not to get too into Jays, But what happens because they got a bunch of starters, he's going to start in the rotation. But what happens if they have to
take the deadline?
What happens if they got to take him out of the rotation again? They're going to be like, is he going to cry again and like
Take
sewer
his ball and go home?
Anyways, I can't believe they brought him back. Quickly before we go, do game time. He mentioned Rick Nash as a penalty killer.
Mm-hmm.
Part of my favorite hockey line of all time at the 2010 Olympics. Rick Nash, Jonathan Taves, and Mike Richards was like their third shutdown line.
Yeah.
And they scored a goal against Russia. It was already 2-0, and they had this where Mike Richards or Jonathan Taves strips Malkin. They go out on a 2-on-1. Rick Nash shoots it upstairs over Evgeny Nabokov. That has sent me into a delirium that I don't think I've ever felt in any sporting event ever. One of the best goals ever. So I love that they brought up Rick Nash because he was amazing at that tournament.
He was awesome.
Yeah. Game time?
Game time.
It's game time presented by Bet365. Visit the app's latest odds and see why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. So there's 4 Olympic hockey games on tap tomorrow. Sucks that this one's at 6:10 a.m. But Finland and Sweden are playing tomorrow morning at 6:10 a.m.
Ooh, that's almost wake up worthy. Almost.
Well, but not to go too inside baseball here. But like you've sent some group chat messages like 5:57 a.m. Like you're up. You're up. You're
not
early
by choice.
Yeah, you're an up guy. Anyways, it's always a fantastic matchup. Just gonna pull up the line for it. Finland is a not huge, but a sizable underdog in that game. Plus 160. Sweden's minus 193. I think that's a great number for Finland. When those two teams play, it's always close. So plus 160.
Hold on.
Number.
I have heard now in multiple places this Finland coach thing.
What's going on?
The Finns are not digging the coach, the coaching, the whatever, and this is
just talked about that.
Right.
Who's pissed off?
And there was talk pre this whole event that they had chosen the wrong guy, and then to Pronger's point, you see it on the ice, and now you lose the first game to Slovakia, and you got internal mutiny going on. The Finns aren't getting anywhere in this tournament.
It'd be hard. I think it'd be hard to call Timu off the beach in California to go in there and coach. So
make him coach the next.
I don't think he wants. I think he wants to just stay in the California beach.
Yeah, you're right.
Golf.
Yeah.
Why would he do it?
For sure.
Timu's got it figured. Man. He's always been cool.
I love Timu. But the other games tomorrow, Italy, Slovakia at 6:10 a.m. as well. I know you'll be waking up for that one morning. You'll be watching that one. Slovakia is minus 1250 favorites in that game. Don't mind a little sprinkle on the plus 750 money line for Italy in that game.
Just take a couple, like a +2 or something. Anyway,
France, Czechia is at 1040. Obviously, Czechia, huge favorites in that game. And the late game is Canada playing Switzerland. Really similar number for what it was with Czechia. Minus 667 for Canada, plus 475. So Bet365 thinks that it's a pretty similar level of opponent between Switzerland and Czechia, which I find interesting. Were you going to say something? Sorry.
Yeah, I find it interesting that Teddy Bluger's name is Theodorus Blugers, and he's been passed off as Teddy Bluger in the NHL.
Theodorus Blugers is 10 times cooler.
So
than
much
Teddy
cooler.
Bluger.
Just do your Latvian Janis Bunkus name.
Bluger is cooler.
Anyways, that was game time. That was terrible. Okay, let me start over. That was a terrible joke. That was game time presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and see why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly.
Okay, let's take a quick break here. We'll
You want to do some NHL talk? I got some true or false questions.
You want to do it now?
No, we'll do it when we
or
come back
after the
from
break.
But
okay.
is everybody okay with us doing NHL stuff?
Well, yeah.
Well,
there's only
someone's
been
going to
2
call
games.
and say no.
1 game.
Okay.
You're
All right.
asking us?
Yeah, I'm just making sure.
You're not allowed
Canada
to talk.
did good if you missed it. Real good.
Yeah, they're good.
Can't talk
Yeah.
NHL.
No, let's talk NHL. I got a few.
We're going to talk NHL. We'll update the USA, including a goal by Austin Matthews.
Oh, good for him.
Is there anyone with
Captain
more
on the board?
more to gain in the Olympics than
Wrote an
Austin
article about
Matthews?
Oh,
Wrote an
pile-
article about
pile it
that.
on the pressure.
We could talk about that. We could talk Junior A, Sammy, because there's a story about the Oshawa Generals that's left a little bit of an odor with people.
Right.
That and more when we return to Real Kyper and Bourne. As a reminder, this hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. USA now handling Latvia like we thought.
Yeah, they're doing their thing. There is just, I don't really know what happened, but Austin Matthews is mad and cross-checked someone. And what was going on there, boys?
First time he's ever been mad.
Yeah. At a
Good for him.
Latvian.
Scored the 5th goal.
He did.
Good for him.
Sammy, just a
you
little
did-
standoffish on Austin right now.
Can't stand him seeing him in the jersey. It offends me.
What do you mean?
And what?
It
Is-
offends me.
It offends you.
I hate
Him in a USA jersey?
it. Hurts my feelings.
He's American,
I know,
Sammy.
but this is one of the great things about there not being best on best is this isn't a reality that I never had to deal with. And now seeing him in the USA jersey, seeing him in the Four Nations wearing it, I'm not going to go as far as to say it makes me sick, but I don't like it.
Just reminded that your team's captain is a good old American
Yeah,
apple pie eating boy.
Listen, if the lottery balls fell the way they should have when Gary should have rigged it for the Leafs, the Connor McDavid should be wearing the C for Toronto, not that guy.
So I wrote an article today.
Sorry, it's just I get a little crazy around this time. You're gonna get
I
a
did,
taste of it.
I did my Thursday article for the Toronto Star, and it's around Austin Matthews. And I wrote that I really believe that a good showing here would be nothing but good news for your Toronto Maple Leafs, Sammy.
Great, they can get all the way up
But
to 4 points back of a playoff spot.
No, it's just moving forward.
Okay.
Okay.
What is your thesis there? What is your theory?
That he has shown over the first 8 years, he's a special player. Carrying the captaincy for USA is like huge.
Big deal.
And
Pretty cool.
it's a big deal.
Mhm.
And the last year and a half have not been kind to him, right?
Right.
For production wise, for whatever reason. But a good showing would put everybody, especially Leaf fans, back into he's a special player.
You think that's okay. That's lost right now.
It's lost.
Yeah.
And a good showing. And maybe it is captaining the winning gold medal team.
Mm-hmm.
I know Sammy doesn't want to hear that, but it could benefit, I think, the Leafs and him moving forward to get him back on pace to be up with the McKinnons and the McDavids.
That can start next year.
Okay.
Okay,
all right. You're excluded from this conversation.
I don't know if I am. I think there's a lot of Leaf fans. Like, I would happily see the Leafs miss the playoffs to have Canada win the gold at this and not have Matthews dominate.
Or
no problem.
To your point, will he just drop into that next level of just being a really good goal scorer amongst many in the NHL?
You know, the one thing with Matthews in the past when he was at his best is he wasn't just a good goal scorer. You know, like he was a great play driver, an elite defensive player, a great takeaway guy.
Yeah.
Like he did a lot.
He did. You're right.
He was even killing penalties. He leads the league in block shots. Like he does
Dominant.
a lot. Right.
Dominant.
So, yeah, to your point, you would hope as a Leafs fan that you want to see him play well in big games. You want to see him get the confidence that, hey, in these biggest moments, I could be awesome. So, yeah, I can see how success here could help him.
Totally.
I mean, not saying I'm wishing that on him, but
You just do not want to go there. You're just all Canada right now, and there's just no gray for you.
They happen to employ one of the biggest hosers of all time and put him on TV. I don't know what to tell you.
I watched a Tragically Hip montage today.
Yeah.
And all watching all. You see that one?
I put it on my story. Maybe you saw it from me.
Yeah. It was, I think the Missing Curfew guys had it up. And it was like, we have had historic, monumental, cool Canadian hockey teams going back a long time now. There's clips of the Espositos. There's clips of, and I you feel a real affinity for the program and the success they've had and all that. So I'm fine with watching Matthews eat it for another few months.
Like, what Canadian Leaf fan wouldn't trade missing the playoffs this year for a Canadian?
Well, and also it's probably the best thing for the team. So
Totally.
Anyway,
All right, caught me.
Okay, what do you have for us?
I got some true or false questions. Did you want to do this Oshawa thing now, or did you want to do it after?
Oshawa first.
Okay. So this came across my desk last night in one of my hockey group chats. My boy Trom sent it to the group chat and got the boys going
Every
a little
group
bit.
chat has a guy.
He sent it in. This was the title of the story from DurhamRadioNews.com. Oshawa Generals season ticket holders asked to shower before game time. The Oshawa Generals players aren't the only ones being told to hit the showers. What an opening line.
Well, it's written so
Durham Radio
light
News.
and pithy.
An email went out to all season ticket holders Tuesday afternoon asking them to be mindful of personal cleanliness while sharing a space with our fellow fans. The message sent: we're thrilled to have you with us each and every game and appreciate the energy you bring to the arena. To help ensure a clean, comfortable, and enjoyable experience for everyone, we kindly ask you to cooperate with a few simple hygiene practices. Please make sure the use of hand sanitizing stations located around the arena
That's not why you're writing.
cover coughs and sneezes, and be mindful of personal cleanliness while sharing our space with fellow fans. If you're feeling unwell, we encourage you to take care of yourself and cheer us home when possible. And if you went to the gym or did something that produced body odor, please shower before attending the game.
Okay.
These are tough conversations
Okay.
to have with people, but you need to have them.
These small actions make a big difference in keeping our community healthy and events running smoothly.
It's not helping the team
Oh,
reputation.
But apparently,
Oshawa's
the
reputation.
backlash was so great that they issued a follow-up statement, right?
Well,
They did.
Can you read that one?
I can't. You sent it to our
Okay,
of
let me
group
see.
chat. Speaking of group chat, guys, Kyper sent it. Official statement. Hey, Gens Nation, we took a penalty on that last one. It's not our place to overstep like we did. We are sorry, and hopefully we can wash this one off.
still cute and fun.
Okay, did they overstep? You
No, absolutely not. That is a
see, I agree with you.
it is a shared space. We're all rooting together. You're in tight with other people. It's hurting other people's experience. There are no scent place you can't wear perfume in some places. I don't think it's too much.
So clearly,
We got a text from Jeff in the Schwa. He said,
Not real.
wife and I would like to weigh in on this. We go to many Gens games and have to agree with the amount of people who stink like stale darts. Not BO, but stale darts.
Oh, darts are okay. You can smell like darts. That's fine. Don't dart shame.
I got to tell you, I have a lot of friends from Oshawa in my life. They've been getting it.
so clearly, for them to go to this level,
Must
Yeah.
be
it's
brutal.
not one person
No, it must be
complaining.
brutal.
Must be enough where
People
there
are
is
like, I'm canceling my season.
there's an issue
you say
here.
something. Yeah.
I've been to a lot of games at the Tribute Center. Got to tell you, I never really stunk. Never really was like, holy crap, the BO in here is insufferable. Like, did somebody just like crap their pants and then just go to the game? Like, what is it? Anyways,
I don't even know what we're talking
But-
about.
it's an
No,
incredible story.
okay, but
But I agree. If you stink like crap, don't go to a game.
No.
I grew
Mix
up
it
in the
up.
restaurant business. It's a not fun conversation to have with someone serving food
Yeah.
that, they want
Line cook who's been in
they
the
want a good experience, but the conversation has to be had.
Yeah.
You can't walk into the office, hear a mess.
No, you could have a rinse.
I'm aware of an NHL player or two who've had to be told, hey, this isn't good.
Brent Burns?
Buddy,
No, but it's a funny guess.
I had an official, God bless him, Big Bear, Asseltane. Go.
What's his? Okay.
Ron Asseltane
Okay.
was the official.
Okay.
In the middle of a fight, ask me what the hell I ate last night because I reeked of garlic. So
At least it
It
wasn't
happened.
booze. At least it wasn't booze.
it happens, right?
Used to get that at hockey
But,
practice a lot. Where
you
it's like,
know-
you guys smell like a brewery. The whole team's.
I
been
backed
like,
up.
"Yeah,
I backed off the fettuccine, before a night before a game.
I mean,
we are wasting clock here.
I've
Let's
played.
move on.
I've played enough beer league games after a shawarma, and you burp on the bench, and it was like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
They shouldn't have.
I gotta tell you, no,
They shouldn't have backpedaled, Oshawa.
Agree.
no.
Agree. I totally
he-
agree. The
they-
Jennies did not overstep.
Even the back pedal is like making fun of it. It's
Yeah.
like, we can wash this one off. It's they're
God, I'm so happy we talked about that.
No, we can all wash it off. Should have been the statement.
yeah.
All right.
True or false?
True or false?
True, false, true, true.
True or false?
All true.
A Canadian team will be picking first overall in the NHL entry draft.
True.
This year.
True.
At the bottom of the standings, Vancouver, Calgary, and Winnipeg are in a dogfight to be bad. And now that we're past this Olympic break, heading to the deadline, and they're going to sell, Winnipeg is not. They're too good.
They're too good.
Yeah, it's Vancouver or Calgary. Gavin McKenna, he's coming to Canada, folks.
Calgary would be awesome.
As a heavyweight.
He can throw him. He can throw him. His credentials. This didn't hurt him in Canada. Everyone goes, protecting his mom, took a swing.
Oh, he's good Canadian boy. Protect his mom. Bring him home.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, it helped his draft stock. It didn't hurt it.
I mean, all of us were like, yeah. I mean, we don't really know it's all alleged. We don't know what happened, but like.
There is a concern about not being a good 200-foot player, though.
That's a much bigger concern.
Okay, that's the concern.
Yeah.
And that's why he dropped.
And a committed every day sort of every shift guy.
You know, there's a little friction at the World Juniors with him, too.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's funny looking back at the
In
draft.
terms of what?
Just, he wasn't happy, and he voiced his concerns about
Wasn't playing enough? Felt like he played the whole tourney.
I don't like that.
Yep.
But, you know, God, what was I going to say? I'll get there.
Let's get Craig Berube. True or false? Craig Berube will be behind the bench for the Leafs at the start of next season.
Yeah, that's a good question.
The safe bet is true. I'll take true.
Okay, the question should be the general manager, because if they change Brad Treliving, I'm not sure if the new guy wants to inherit. Okay, I'll say true.
You're not going to come in and fire the coach immediately.
I think if they want to fire Brad and keep Berube, it's not ideal. But that's a Keith Pelly board decision, ownership decision. I know he's well liked, he's well respected. We all know that. But if you're telling me Berube's going to start September, then are you telling me Brad is going to start September too? And can the Leafs miss the playoffs and keep both of them?
No, I don't think.
I don't think it's possible either.
Yeah,
if they miss the playoffs,
no. Something's
got to give.
Yeah.
So is it the GM or the coach or both?
Probably both, wouldn't it be?
It depends on who you get coming in and who's available.
Their superstars are the exact same age as the Edmonton ones, and I understand that they're not nearly as good, but like they're in the sort of atmosphere of them.
Yeah,
you shouldn't be missing the playoffs. And this year of Austin Matthews and Willie Nylander.
Yeah, and it's the year's not been awesome.
Here's one for you. True or false? The Edmonton Oilers will play someone other than the Los Angeles Kings in the first round of the playoffs this year.
Boy, I haven't taken a look at the standings.
I'm going with tradition.
Get the Kings again. The Kings are making a push, right? Like they just got Panarin. They are probably in a wild card spot right now, but that means they're going to knock out Seattle.
Up the standings for you.
They need a centerman so badly.
So they are 3 points
LA?
back.
Yeah.
They're 3 points back of the Seattle Kraken, and they've played the exact same amount of games.
And so Edmonton, are they behind Vegas, I assume?
They are. So it's Vegas has 68 points, and they're in first of the Pacific. Edmonton, there you go.
I think Edmonton will win the division. I do.
There's been a lot of rumblings about changing something about the coaching staff going back. Yep.
In Edmonton?
In Edmonton,
well,
yeah. Because there's a lot of talk. I think Frank Saravelli was the first one to maybe mention Paul Coffey going back. I don't know where that is. I have not heard anything of that nature. I don't think it's imminent or in the works right now. I could be wrong, but I don't get the sense. If that's what they're talking about and debating, I can believe that is true.
Yeah.
And they might just still be one phone call away from asking Paul to come back. I don't think it's happened yet, but there's a lot of talk. Sorry?
Why'd they get rid of him in the first place?
I probably would think that there was some
Power dynamic?
Different philosophies on coaching. I don't think everybody was on the same page. I don't know. That's my guess.
So then is the implication that it could be different than that as a change? Something different?
I'm not suggesting that they'll change the head coaching, but they could move people around.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Shuffle.
and, it's still out there that Paul Coffey could end up back there.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
The Coffey thing, to me, he can't go back there. And I don't know anything that happened. But if you have told a coach or a coach has told you, I don't agree with this guy, we don't work together, it's just not whatever, I'm out of here unless you.
I agree with you.
There's no scenario where you're like, you come back in the room and be like, sorry about that.
Yeah.
You're right.
No, it wouldn't work that way.
So
I'm 100% with you. It would be way too awkward.
Right.
The Boston Bruins will make the playoffs as the final wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. True or false?
False.
I don't really like their team, but I'll tell you one thing about them. They play tough. They're hard-nosed.
Yep.
And if they miss, they'll just miss.
Yeah.
Columbus is hot. Maybe this break came at the worst possible time for them because they brought in Bones and they got smoking hot. How many did they win? They were like 7 to 8 or whatever going to the break.
Pile. No, more than that. Like
More than
9
that?
to 10.
Wow. Yeah. So, and they're just there.
Just the energy of it.
The Bruins, they got a 4-point lead on Columbus, who's right behind them. Okay, there we got the standings. Thank you guys very much. There's a lot of chasers. So basically, if Buffalo or if Boston catches a toe at all, like someone is going to play well. One of the Blue Jackets, Capitals, Senators, Leafs is going to have a good final 25 game push.
It's wild.
Maybe two of those teams have a good final 25 games, and don't bet against the Senators. So Boston's in tough. They got to play well.
Look at the Panthers down there.
I like them in net, though, and I like their blue line.
McAvoy and Pasternak. Like they have, they got some guys.
Last one. Mitchkov will be on the Flyers next season. True or false?
No, can I tweak that?
Yes.
Mitchkov and Tocchet will be on the Flyers next season.
I love
True.
it. True or false?
True
to both.
True. Yeah, listen, Freer went on record already. He ain't going anywhere.
Michkov, yeah.
Yeah, not going anywhere.
They're going to give him a summer to run on the treadmill.
No, you can't bail on him this early.
Yeah, you'd be foolish to, but I think if they know
the Gutter or
Goche.
Gutter, right?
They have a cautionary tale in their organization already.
That was they moved too quickly off of that.
Yeah, they did.
And they can't make the same mistake again.
True or false, Azam Kadri will be on the Flames past the NHL trade deadline on March 6th.
False. They have to move him.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Just he's ready to go. Doesn't work with their timeline.
You don't want to add another year to him and have his stock drop any more than it already is. And it's just not serving you to keep him another year.
It's funny how that's got to be one of the Leafs' what ifs over the years. If you had just kept him.
Sorry.
What?
I just read it and made it hilarious.
All right.
London Knights fan here.
Not even paying attention.
Yes, I am. Last seas's OHL final, there was 4 Oshawa fans sitting behind me.
Ugh.
That smelled like a garbage dump.
Oh my God.
I love Oshawa.
Sammy, I'm buying you deodorant. You seriously have a problem here. Cologne. What do I need for you to get off of this story?
Maybe I'm not like entrenched enough in like junior hockey in Ontario to know the depth of this or
If
something.
this is a story, if this is an Owen Sound story, I'd never recover. Like, I'd never come back from this. If my boy Dale DeGray sent
I'll
out an
never
email
financially recover
being
from
like, you guys stink, shower, I'd never come back from it.
Oh, and smell. That's what we would have called you.
Well, they used to call it,
Not the sound, the smell.
Stewie used to tell me that with the
So what do you recommend,
F
Sammy?
around and go to the Sound.
Are you a shower a day guy?
Of course I do. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Mornings, nights. What's your
Every morning I
preference?
have a shower.
Damn, buddy.
AM?
Yeah.
I'm just checking because you're like an expert now on all of this.
Chuck my kid in there once every 6 weeks or so, and off you go.
Oh my God.
Not with me.
Our thanks to Luke Fox in our opening hour and Chris Pronger. What do we got tomorrow? Canada and
Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Mac, 2:00 Eastern. Be here.
Doug McLean.
Shower up.
Shower up, everybody.
Time to hit the show.
Stay mean, stay clean.